Hello and welcome back to the Slasher Siblings podcast. I'm your host Hayden.
And I'm your co-host Cicely.
And this week we have for you Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. That was one long ass title.
Yeah, I didn't know it was called that.
You just thought it was Sweeney
Sweeney Todd, and then I was like, wait, is this the right one?
Yes.
Okay.
It was made in 2007, rated R, hour 56, 7.3 out of 10, which I feel is too low. And for the people that don't know what it's about, the legendary tale of a barber who returns from wrongful imprisonment to 1840s London, bent on revenge for the rape and death of his wife, and resumes his trade while forming a sinister partnership with his fellow tenant, Miss Lovett. Now, before we start, she will read the question from last week.
This Twilight Zone-esque Netflix series taps into our collective unease with our modern world and the dangers of advanced technology.
And the answer...
Sorry.
Go ahead, what's the answer?
Black Mirror.
I haven't seen that yet.
I've seen a few episodes.
I heard Miley Cyrus is in it?
Yeah, I watched that one. And I liked it. I watched it a few times. And then I just keep letting it run. You know? And I was like, it's pretty good. Get you thinking.
Word.
You should watch it.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll read the next question later. And if you didn't Google it, good job.
Good job.
So this is your first time watching this movie?
Yeah. I've seen, like, pictures and shit and, like, little clips of Sweeney Todd. And I think I started to watch it at one point.
Outside of The Office?
Yeah. And, I think I started to watch it one time before. And I fell asleep.
Andy Bernard's character was Anthony. Yeah. And he was... I remember because didn't they put I Feel You, Joanna in the show? In The Office?
Something. I don't remember. I'll have to
I need to rewatch that one.
Rewatch that episode.
That was actually a really funny episode.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I've, seen this movie 100 times. I have a soft spot for musicals, so.
So, I also didn't realize it was a fucking musical. And then they started singing, and I was like, oh.
What's going on?
Hold on.
Why did I not watch this sooner?
I was like, shit. This is a fucking musical?
I mean, we grew up with, like, Chicago and...
Oh, I like musicals.
Yeah, we watched Chicago, like, 2,000 times.
I love musicals. But, yeah, I didn't know this was a musical. And it reminds me... I think I always used to get Edward Scissorhands and, like, Sweeney Todd, like,
Well, I have a fear fact for you on that front.
Ah.
Alright, let's jump in here.
Let's jump in here.
The opening is a very Tim Burton style.
Yeah.
So, as soon as... It's like within the first 2 seconds of the opening. It's like this... You can obviously tell this is Tim Burton. Immediately.
I didn't know it was Tim Burton.
Till just now?
Yep.
Yeah, it was Tim Burton. And it was with all the, like dark, gloomy setting, and then like the blood drops, and it was 100% obviously because it was Tim Burton, but it was just like the epitome of
You know what, now
Tim
that
Burton's.
I think about it, I think I did know it was Tim Burton.
Probably.
I think you've mentioned that before to me.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I agree.
I also like the scene that Sweeney Todd is arriving on the ship with Anthony to London, and the song that this place is full of shit or whatever.
Yeah.
This place is a great big pit. Yeah, that song is a really catchy one. It's not my favorite song of the movie, but that one's so catchy, and it's just calling London a big piece of shit.
Well, since this was my first time watching it, I don't usually watch movies with, like, subtitles.
This one you kind of had to.
I had to. Like, I was, like, watching it, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on. So then I didn't turn on the subtitles until, like, a few minutes in. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, you kind of have to read the subtitles, kind of understand a little bit. It's not even like
Especially for the
because
first time watching
yeah,
it.
it's not even like because you don't understand what they're saying. It's just like
They're singing it.
they're
I
singing
feel like
it.
I can't.
It's harder to understand what
yeah,
they're saying.
like
when-
especially if you're like trying to follow like a story and like
Yeah.
a plot.
right.
That's why I was like, fuck. I literally said out loud by myself. I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I gotta turn on these fucking subtitles.
The Barber story. He said
Mhm.
he's telling Anthony the story about the young barber or whatever. I thought that at the same time that was a really cool story. That was such a terrible, sad story.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Judge Turpin.
Fuck that guy. For sure.
I mean, Alan Rickman, who played Judge Turpin, was excellent. Obviously, he's excellent in everything, but fuck his character.
What else is he in?
He's Snape from Harry Potter.
That's it. That's it. I was like, who is this guy? I know that voice.
He's Hans Gruber from Die Hard, the bad guy in Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
He fell from the
I've never
Top,
seen Die Hard.
Yakatomi Plaza. Really?
Yeah. I know, it's kind of disappointing. They talk about it a lot in Friends.
Really?
I think.
They also
Yeah.
talk about it a lot in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, Die Hard. Mm-hmm. Which has made me want to watch it, but I never.
That's a good movie. It's like John Wick. Do you like John Wick?
Yeah.
I mean, without it's
I'm
very,
not gonna go out of my way to watch John Wick,
It's
like in
very
my free time.
action-packed.
But
It's
if it's
not-
on, I'm like, oh, this is pretty dope.
It's not. They're similar in a way, like action-wise, but he's obviously not going around killing people. And anyway, I just thought that was like a really cool, like, look into his background without knowing that was him just yet. I mean, obviously, you know what Johnny Depp looks like,
Yeah.
so you see the same person, so you know it's him. But like Anthony doesn't.
I like his hair in this movie. The
Actually,
skunk stripe. It's cute.
they released the movie under the name Skunk,
Aw.
like the working title,
Yeah.
because of his hair.
That's cute. I didn't know that.
It's kind of funny. I like the Lovett's Pie Shop scene.
Should I get a skunk stripe in my hair?
No, you're okay.
Why? Like a pink skunk stripe. Like this.
No, do whatever
Like
you want.
some on my bang and then back.
Do whatever you want.
Okay. Keep going.
The Worst Pies in London song
Yeah.
is really funny. She's sitting there beating on the dough, and then all the cockroaches
Yeah,
are
killing
crawling her.
them, and then one gets into the pie, and I was like, ooh, it's
There
in
it is.
there.
It's gross.
It's in there.
And then he takes a bite of it, and she said it was cat meat. The cats are quick. She said the cats are quick around here. The first time I heard that, I was like, that's disgusting. But that's also what they had to do.
Yeah.
Because there was like a meat shortage back then.
That's so gross.
I know. It's disgusting. But it introduces you to Miss Lovett, Helen Bonham Carter's
Uh-huh.
character, which I love her. And it's just so funny just seeing her making the pies in
Uh-huh.
front of
A customer.
a customer and
And
then
killing the cockroaches.
killing the cockroaches
Wiping her
and-
hand on her dress.
yeah, it's just so funny.
Ugh. Everything about it, I was like,
That's gross.
I would get up and leave.
Lovett's addition to the story. What I am talking about is where she adds context to the Barber story. Like, she tried to poison herself, and you know,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought that was very cool to see someone other than his point of view to the
Mhm.
story, and then because obviously she was staring at him rather than his wife.
Yes.
She was in love with him.
Yes.
But also he was sent away to prison on a false charge, so it was also kind of neat to see like what happened after, because he obviously doesn't know he was in prison in Australia. So, and then there's also the part that she adds where the judge kidnaps his wife, like that whole scene, inviting her to the party and drugging her and stuff.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that was awful.
yeah, that's
When I first, I had to pause right there because I didn't quite understand what happened. I didn't understand what happened once they
Enclosed. Yeah.
So, like...
You kind of had to read what it was about before. Because they don't expressly say, oh, she was raped in the movie.
Yeah, I didn't quite get that until right now.
There wasn't much, like, context to that part, which is good.
So why is the whole room in on this?
Well, because it's the judge.
So the judge did it?
Yeah, but, like, he planned it that way.
So why did the whole fucking room go with it? There were women in there, too.
I mean, they are scared of the judge, so they just did whatever he said.
Okay.
That's just kind of the thing.
That's lame.
Yeah, it was. And Todd gets his knives back. Razors, I guess. That was a really cool scene. I like that song, too.
Yeah.
Where she's, like, whispering in his ear, and he's talking to the knives, and my arm is complete again. I like that part where he holds the knife up.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's such a good image, too. You see him through the window, and it just starts slowly backing up. And, like, there's this one little gleam of light in this, like, dark and disgusting little town.
So did he used to live there?
Yeah, that was his.
So
that was where they lived.
That's why the blades were under the floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she figured out that he was Benjamin Barker, just under a different name, and that she knew that he lived there, and she hid those knives for him.
Okay.
She said when the police came, she hid the knives for him. And Anthony meets Joanna, kind of, like, hears her singing and stuff. And I thought that was a really nice scene because it set up this...
Is it Anthony or Antony?
Well, the way they pronounced it back then was Anthony.
Have you ever watched Queer Eye?
No.
That was a silly question. But...
I mean, Mom has. I've seen it.
There's one of the guys, his name's Antony.
I mean, the new version?
The new version?
Yeah.
Of Queer Eye?
Yeah. Because there used to be...
current version?
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah, is there an old version?
Yeah, Queer Eye for the straight guy. Queer Eye.
What?
Mom used to watch it all the time with, I forget their names now, but...
5 dudes?
No, a man and a woman.
Oh, yes, so the new version.
Okay.
That's why I was asking if his name was Anthony or Antony.
Well, the way they pronounced it
right.
back then, it was Anthony.
Okay.
That's the way they pronounced it, but it's Anthony. It's spelled Anthony.
Oh, okay.
But he meets Joanna for the first time, and he's caught by the judge, so... You know, the judge threatens him and says, like, come anywhere near, I'll kill you, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I like that scene is because it sets up this... Like, Sweeney Todd obviously has the revenge angle.
Yeah.
And Anthony has the love angle.
Romance.
The romance, yeah.
It's very, Romeo and Juliet.
Exactly, yeah. And, you know, Romeo and Juliet weren't supposed to be together, and...
Yeah. Forbidden love.
Forbidden love. Anthony and Joanna have forbidden love, too. So
Love it.
Kind of has that element brought into it, too.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pirelli's Miracle Elixir.
Yeah.
I really like that song a lot. The kid sings very, very well. And I just think I always laugh at that scene because he's, like, rubbing it on the bald dude's head, and...
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
And he, like, takes his hat off and shakes his hair, and it's real long from the elixir and whatnot. And I don't know. I just always laugh at that scene because that kid's, like, so funny.
Oh yeah.
Also, it's the little nuances, like when he's sharpening his razor, he's smacking him in the knuckles, and he has the bandages all over his hand, and he's used to it. And I like the little subtle things in that scene a lot. I
like when Johnny Depp calls him out.
Smells like piss. Piss with ink. Yeah.
Piss with ink.
I always laugh at that too, because obviously the kid's just trying to do his job.
Yeah.
He's not the one making the elixir, and he's just trying to get it sold for his master or whatever, and then he's just like so confused, like why this dude is saying
Like
that
calling
it's
him out.
piss.
Yeah.
He's just like,
"What?"
I'm just trying to do my job. Like, can you just shut up?
Yeah.
It's just that kid was so good in this movie.
He was.
But Sweeney challenges Pirelli to shave off, I guess you could say.
Shave off.
But as soon as he challenges him and he shows him the razor, instantly you could tell on Pirelli's face that he knew it was Sweeney, like who Sweeney really was. He knew it was Benjamin Barker. It was just Sacha Baron Cohen. Sacha Baron Cohen is a really, really good actor. He's Borat.
Oh yeah. Oh.
He's such a good actor. And
that's who that was?
yeah.
That's funny.
He's also in Alice in Wonderland with Johnny Depp and Helen. But it was like the subtle change in his expression was so good that you knew that he knew who it was.
Yeah.
He took the challenge anyway because he thought that there was only one way to really get him blackmailed, was to let him win because he knew he was going to lose anyway, and then come back later and be like, I know it's you.
Who you are.
So I really like that part. And the blackmailing of Sweeney Todd was it wasn't like a good scene because, you know, he was being blackmailed, but I also like that scene because he thought that he knew how to handle this.
Yeah.
But he came and said, like, hey, I'll tell everyone if you don't give me half your money. This dude is literally desperate from his wife being taken and, well, as far as he knows, murdered.
Yeah.
And you're trying to take half of his business that he just barely has. This man doesn't give a fuck. I don't know why you'd mess with him.
That's what I'm saying.
But he was also
Dummy on his part.
It was very conceited and cocky. But I also like that first kill too.
Oh yeah.
It was very like clumsy because he beat him with the teapot and then threw him in the chest, and the kid almost saw him, and then he slit his throat. Like, it was very clumsy.
Then his hand was moving. In
it wasn't calculated like the deaths coming later in the movie are.
Yes, and I don't know why. Like, I went into this not knowing anything about it, so once we get to how the other deaths are, I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
Then there's the scene where the judge is being a judge, and he's sentencing somebody to death, and he's saying, like, I sentence you to death, blah blah blah, this isn't the first time. And then the camera pans over and it's just a little kid. So that's obvious.
He doesn't give a fuck.
That he doesn't give a fuck, yeah. But he's very extremely cruel.
Oh, yeah.
And crooked, obviously, because later we find out that it was just Beetle asking him to do that. But it's obvious that he's, like, very cruel. If you didn't get that hint already when he kidnapped Sweeney Todd's wife and took her, but this was, like, cementing the fact that he was an awful person.
Period.
And then the judge comes for a shave. That is such a, like, you're right at the finish line moment.
Yeah.
And it got ripped out from under you.
Yeah.
And, you know, he missed his chance then because Anthony come barging in.
Revealing his plans.
His plans to take Joanna, and that was a dumb move on Anthony's part.
He should have just, like, why'd he barge in and say
Why did he barge in screaming about it? Like, he should have
checked who was in the room.
Exactly.
He should have read the room.
But, I mean, he's a kid, and he's in love, so he does dumb stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is. It happens. And then there's the singing about putting people in pies. They were singing about putting Pirelli in the pie. Like, how are we going to get rid of him? And how about some priest? And
yeah,
how about
they
a
were
little
saying
priest?
he was chunky.
Yeah, so that's a very, very funny scene because they're just, like, looking around the town, like, picking people out. I also, you know, really like the relationship starting between the two of them.
Yeah, you can see it happening there.
Like
Or
they're
starting.
obviously becoming friends in some capacity. I mean, she's in love with him and he's just kind of like indifferent to her,
Yeah.
but it's a very cool scene to see that kind of blossom into like a business partner relationship, I guess you could say.
I didn't like still quite understand what was going on, and then I was like, the priest?
You didn't understand that they were gonna put him in the pies.
No, I was like, they're gonna what are they planning? And then I got it.
And
I was
then
like,
you got
okay. That's making a little more sense.
And then there's a scene with sending Joanna to the madhouse, which he's obviously very desperate to get this girl to, be his wife and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So he sends her away as if no one was going to do anything about it, is the thing. He just expected, like, not a single person to try and, help her or anything like that. Which is fair. He thinks that he's, like, untouchable. So it's fair, but this is also when the killings start. He's building the chair and stuff, so he starts slitting people's throats, and the whole thing was like they pick strangers who no one will miss, and
no one will come looking for,
and they're not like disgusting looking because no one wants to eat
like a gross person.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to eat a person in general.
I mean, I don't want to eat humans at all.
But if I had to, I wouldn't want them to look gross.
Right. Have some class. You know what I mean?
The fancy guy would probably taste better than the dude who lives on the street.
Yeah. Probably, right?
I assume. And then it shows the scene where the meat pies are actually becoming popular now.
Mm-hmm. Like they're yummy.
And that scene in itself would probably be a little suspicious. Because at one point they were terrible, and then all of a sudden everyone loves them.
They're all cannibals. Like, we're sitting there
watching people become unknowingly cannibals.
Yeah. And I was like, this is really fucking gross. And they're all sitting there like,
they love it.
I'm like, ooh.
Like, did you not want to know what kind of meat it was?
No, they don't care.
No, they didn't care.
And what is a meat pie? Is it crust and then meat in the middle?
Yep.
Ugh.
That's literally
gross.
What it is, a meat pie.
It sounds so gross. I would never eat a meat pie.
And then I also think that the scene where they're traveling to the sea is hilarious. Sweeney is sitting on the beach just like not caring about anything.
Not doing anything.
And she's just like so excited, talking about how she wants to go to the beach and she wants to get married and all this other stuff. And it's a really funny scene because he's just like there.
He's just sitting there staring.
Johnny Depp is such an amazing actor.
He is.
And this scene is just like, obviously Sweeney Todd doesn't want any of this, but he's just going along with it. And
he's nodding and
it's just so funny the way Johnny acts in this scene. He does it in such a way that it's, well, obviously it's hilarious, but he's just an awesome actor. And then there's the plan to get the judge, and that meaning like he sends the note and says show up because
something stinky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a very well thought out plan to get the judge to come to the seat and saying like, I know a way that she's going to love you, and obviously that sucked him in because this whole movie or play, musical, whatever you want to call it, is all about, it's all about Sweeney Todd, but for the judge's point of view, it's all about him trying to get Joanna to love him, which doesn't happen. But.
Yeah.
And I like the scene where Toby will protect Lovett, where he's starting to kind of figure it out a little bit, and he's saying like, "No one's gonna hurt you while I'm around," song, which is a really cool song, and it's a real nice sentiment between the two of them, because it's obvious that she wanted a kid and never had one, and he's always wanted a mother that actually, not like Pirelli, like actually cared about him. And I thought that scene was really nice between the two of them.
Yeah, I thought so too.
And then Toby finds the toe and the corpses in the basement.
Oh my god.
That's gross. Imagine
That's when
finding
he
a
realized,
toe. That's when he realizes
like,
what's going on.
everything was human meat, and then the guy comes down the chute right in front of him.
Right in front of him. Bad timing.
Oh, super bad.
But
timing.
also, he had no choice.
Yeah.
He had to kill him right then and there. There was no way around that one. Then the judge comes for a shave again, and he actually kills him. I like the Sweeney Todd's talking to him, and then the judge is like, realizes who it was, and he
Benjamin
realized
Barker.
he was screwed.
Yep.
Right there, and I think that another amazing actor, Alan Rickman, the subtlety and the emotions, he's like, shit.
Yeah.
And also like, what the hell, how are you here and still alive and stuff. But I thought that was a really cool scene as far as like acting goes too. And Todd sees his Lucy, is what I have written down, which he figures out that he actually killed her.
Yeah, that sucked.
That sucks. He spent this whole time thinking she was dead, and she ends up dying by his hand.
Yep.
And I feel extremely, extremely bad for Sweeney Todd in this movie, because not only did his wife and daughter get taken from him, get thrown in jail under false charges, come back and have like nothing
To his name
at all, having to live under a new name, thinking his wife is dead the whole time, and then killing his wife
on accident.
Like, I feel so bad for Sweeney Todd, and you probably shouldn't, because he's, murdering people,
But I still feel bad.
but I still feel awful for him,
Yeah.
because that's such a shitty life.
Kick him while he's down.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's an awful scene, but I also like the scene where him and Lovett are dancing in the basement and he throws her in the oven. Like I said, that's an awful scene, but I think that scene's in his eyes, necessary.
It was gnarly to see her catch on fire.
Yeah, that was wild. And she deserved it. She lied to him the whole time. I don't think if someone lied to me, I'd throw him in an oven, but
maybe. Don't test me.
Don't test me. But who knows? Like, it seemed necessary for him, because he's been murdering people. What's throwing Lovett into the oven for lying to him?
Yeah, you're already killing a bunch of people. Might as well. Add one more.
And the other thing, my last thing that I have written down to talk about for the movie was, he dies without actually seeing Joanna.
I know.
And yes, he saw Joanna,
but he didn't know it was
he didn't know it was her. He didn't know that was even a girl. He almost killed her even.
Yeah. Thought it was a little boy.
And I also feel bad because he died without actually seeing her. And she was right there. And the whole movie was about getting her back and killing the judge, and he ends up dying without.
It makes me sad.
Yeah, I also feel bad for Toby too, because he had to kill Sweeney Todd.
Yep.
Which was necessary, yeah. But
I get it, but
damn.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to talk about?
No, I did really like this movie. At first I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this.
And then you realized it was a musical.
Yeah, and then I got into it and started understanding what was going on. I'm definitely gonna watch it again.
Yeah. It's a really, really good movie.
What did you watch it on?
I own it.
I rented it.
I have it on Xbox, so I wouldn't have been able to
send it my way.
No.
Well, I have it for 2 days, so
Watch it again.
I'm gonna watch it again.
Get your
Probably
money out
tonight,
of it. Well, here's some interesting fear facts I got on the razors that Sweeney Todd used, there was a hidden button on it because
Oh.
I guess Johnny Depp had trouble like flinging it open
Yeah.
in the movie, so he had them build like mechanical ones, and he hid the button with his finger, and he would press it and it would shoot up.
Oh, okay.
Because I guess he had trouble getting it to shoot
fling
up.
out.
Yeah. Sacha Baron Cohen, who is Borat or Pirelli, sang the entire Fiddler on the Roof score for his audition. The whole Fiddler on the Roof, which I haven't seen it or anything, but like from what I understand is a very extremely long score. So he sang the entire thing for his audition.
Wow. Well, it worked.
It worked. It got him the part, which is fair enough because he's an excellent actor too. Like
Yeah.
there wasn't a single bad actor in this.
No.
Even Vecna was in there.
Oh!
Anthony is
Oh
Vecna.
my god, dude! Oh my god!
Not
Are
only
you fucking kidding me?
not only is he Vecna, but he's one of the vampires from Twilight.
I'm kind of pissed now.
Vittori, yeah.
Because I stared at that kid and I was like, who is that?
That's Vecna.
And I did not look it up. That makes so much sense now. That makes so much sense.
He's a very good singer. Very good singer.
Listen, I love me some Vecna. I know he's not a good character.
But the
Stranger
actor
Things.
is very good.
Oh my god, he's so cute. Now
Uh,
that makes sense. I
no.
feel a lot better now because I was like, who is this kid? Why do I know that face? It's because I fucking stared at it.
For the whole season.
Oh my god, okay.
Johnny Depp practiced singing on the Pirates set. So, I think it was Dead Men Tell No Tales or something. I think it was that one. But he was singing on the set of Pirates of the Caribbean. Like practicing his Sweeney Todd singing.
Oh.
Which is kind of cool to know because he kind of gets into his characters. It's kind of funny that he was practicing while being another character. Johnny says that Sweeney Todd is the long-lost relative of Edward Scissorhands.
Ah.
That's what I was meaning
That's
earlier.
making sense.
Yeah, it's not real, but it's just
it
what
feels
Johnny
like
Depp
it.
says. Because that's his character. I mean, I know Tim Burton created both of them, but Johnny Depp is those characters.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if Johnny Depp says it, then that's true.
Yeah.
No matter if it is or isn't, it is.
It's true.
Johnny is the only American in this movie,
Wow.
which is very cool.
That is cool.
Everyone else is like, from England and
Yeah.
whatnot. I think everyone else is from England, except for Johnny Depp.
Cool.
This is the 7th collaboration for Johnny Depp and Tim Burton. This is the 7th movie they worked on together.
Wow.
I don't know all 7.
We need to look it up.
I want to look it up, but
Obviously,
Edward Scissorhands and Sweeney Todd and stuff. And every time Tim Burton makes a movie, I like it. I haven't hated anything he's made.
No, me either.
Even Wednesday was amazing. And
he did direct that
everything that Tim Burton and Johnny Depp have done together have been amazing too.
Mhm.
And for my last and final fear fact, the body count in this movie is 12.
Damn.
He's killed 12 people. But I give this movie an 8 out of 10. I have a soft spot for musicals. I love musicals. And also, this is a pretty star-studded cast.
Yeah.
From Johnny Depp to
Vecna.
Helena Bonham Carter, and Sacha Baron Cohen, and Alan Rickman.
Pretty
Even
stacked
Beetle.
team.
Even Beetle is Peter Pettigrew from Harry Potter. He's the one that turned into the rat.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Wow.
even he was pretty popular at that point too. But I really like this movie, and as I said before, I like musicals. I also like I love Tim Burton's directing style.
Mhm.
Very dark and gloomy and obviously
It's
gothic.
super cozy. Like curl up on a rainy day, light some candles,
Get some murder in.
hop into bed, make a hot chocolate maybe.
And get some murder singing in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really like Tim Burton's directing and writing style. I mean, I don't think he wrote this, but it's still like anything that Tim Burton is involved in, I usually really like.
Mhm.
The Batman movies were great. He did Michael Keaton's Batman.
Oh, I didn't know that. Cool.
And it's just his directing style is obvious. Very, very obvious that it's like his style.
Did you watch
Very
The Corpse
unique.
Bride?
Love The Corpse Bride, yeah.
That's one of my
That's one of them. That's one of the 7.
That's one of my comfort movies.
Yeah, I love that movie a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when we saw it one time and then we tried for like months to figure out how to watch it again?
No?
We watched it once and loved it, right? And then like for months on end we kept trying to figure out a way to watch it.
Like when we were little?
Yeah.
I was going to say, because right now, today's technology, we
No,
don't have
and
to worry
then
about
Dad
that.
had to burn us a CD with it on it because we wanted to watch it
That's
so bad.
funny.
Or DVD rather, but...
That's cute.
Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, other than I'm totally going to watch it again now that I have a better understanding.
Yeah.
And
you know what's going on.
I feel like you itched a scratch in my brain telling me that was Vecna. Because, listen, dude, you have no idea. I stared at that motherfucker and I was like, I could have just Googled it, but I was like, can't quite put my finger on it.
Well, as of for next week's question, David Naughton and Griffin Dunn play a pair of unfortunate backpackers in this 1981 lycanthropy classic.
Lycanthropy?
Yeah, it means the third word in that sentence there.
Okay.
That's what lycanthropy is. A lichen is...
Quit giving hints. Have you seen that?
No.
Me either. Do you know what it is?
No.
Me either. Okay.
I mean, I've heard of it, but anyway, don't Google that, obviously, as if we,
and
as
if you
we
don't
say.
know it, no shame, because we don't fucking
We don't know it either. We didn't. I only know.
He just showed me the answer.
I've only known a couple of these answers that we've done. I haven't known like the Wes Craven one. I
I've
have
known a
no
couple.
idea.
I've known a couple.
Yeah, I've known a couple. It's just
Not a lot.
we got like
We got a whole deck
200 cards here with 2 questions
with 2
on
questions
each. So
each. Yeah, we got.
we got a long way to
loaded.
go if people keep answering, that is.
Yeah.
But if that's all you got, that's all I have too for this
What's
week.
the next?
The next one is Let the Right One In. That was Evan's pick.
Okay.
It's a Swedish film, I guess, so that'll be interesting.
That'll
to
be
see.
good, I think. It's about vampires, he said, I think.
He says it's good. It's probably good because the Witch was amazing. But we'll have to sit down and pick the next month's movies after Let the Right One In. So,
Are there any of your favorites we haven't done yet?
probably. But we'll get into that off the podcast.
Okay. I was just asking if there's anything off the dome that you...
Not right this second. I'd have to actually sit and think for a minute. But that's all I have. So
Same
we'll catch
here.
everyone next week with Let the Right One In. And
Thanks for tuning in.
thanks for tuning in for this is now the 26th episode, but thanks for getting us to 25. And we appreciate everyone listening and reviewing and stuff. So
Hell yeah, we do.
So thanks again, and we'll catch you next week with that movie.
Catch you later.